Mia always took the same route home from work, a quiet 10-minute walk through a residential street. It felt safe, familiar. But one night in late October, she noticed a man standing across the street. Gray hoodie, head down. He didn't move, didn't speak, just watched her pass. The next night, he was there again. Same spot, same hoodie. At first, Mia told herself it was coincidence, maybe he lived nearby. But then she realized he never looked at anything else. Just her. She started walking faster. He never followed. He only watched. By the third night, Mia was scared enough to cross the street early, take a different route. But halfway home, she saw him again. This time, standing at the corner, closer. She hadn't even heard footsteps. She hurried inside her building, locking the door twice. When she peeked through the curtain, the man was standing across the street, staring up at her window. She called the police, but they said there wasn't much they could do. Unless he threatens you or enters the property, the officer said. So Mia changed her schedule. Different routes, different hours. It didn't matter. He always found her. Sometimes she'd hear the faint sound of shoes scraping on the pavement behind her. Sometimes she'd catch a glimpse of that gray hoodie turning the corner just as she reached her door. One night she came home and noticed something that made her stomach drop. The small rubber stopper she always put at the bottom of her door to check if someone tried to get in was gone. When she slowly opened the door, everything looked normal. Except for one thing. Her bedroom light was on. She hadn't left it on. Her hands shook as she stepped inside. A faint smell of cheap cologne hung in the air. She backed out and ran to the neighbors to call the police. The police found no one inside. But in her closet, they found muddy footprints. The window was unlocked. On her nightstand, there was a folded piece of paper. No words. Just a hand-drawn smiley face. She moved out the next day. They never caught him. But every few months, she still gets a text from an unknown number that only says, "Nice new street."